Welcome to our explainer. Today we're going to dive into one of the biggest human quests there is, the search for real inner freedom. So let me ask you this. Do you ever feel trapped? And I don't mean by actual stone walls. I mean trapped by your circumstances, by the constant chatter in your own mind, or just by that nagging feeling that life is supposed to have some deeper meaning. Here at the Spiritual Seek, our guides really understand these invisible prisons, and by drawing on some pretty ancient wisdom, we forged 4 totally distinct keys that can help unlock them. Each one is a little different, made for a different kind of lock you might be up against.
Okay, so our first key, this one's for the soul that feels like a total stranger in a strange land. Like you're trapped in a reality that just feels flawed, maybe even deceptive. We call this the Gnostic key of rebellion.
Now, the Gnostic path sees the prison as the material world itself. Yep, the whole thing. It's seen as a kind of counterfeit creation, put together by a lesser, sort of ignorant god. They call him the demiurge. And his whole goal is to obscure your divine nature and keep your soul, your true spark, or pneuma, asleep and totally forgetful of where it came from.
So this path, it's not just some simple self-help stuff. It's more like a sacred ordeal, you know? It's a call to action, to listen to that ancient whisper, remember who you truly are, and rise above the whole illusion. This key unlocks a whole path of ascent, a journey they call the Anados. It's about moving through all these layers of cosmic deception to reclaim that forbidden knowledge, that gnosis. You shatter your false identity, you purify yourself, and you ultimately return to embody your true divine consciousness.
So where the Gnostic key challenges the world out there, our second key turns everything inward. It's really forged for the mind that feels imprisoned by its own emotional chaos, fear of the future, all that stuff. This is the Stoic key of resilience. For the Stoic, the prison isn't the world at all. It's our out-of-control reactions to it. This path shows that we suffer way more in our imagination than we ever do in reality. The chains aren't the events themselves, but our judgments about them.
The philosopher Epictetus just nailed the heart of this path. He taught that real peace, real tranquility, isn't found by changing the world, but by focusing only on what you can actually control, your own inner world.
And this right here, this is the core of Stoicism, the dichotomy of control. It's a game changer. You learn to draw a really clear line between what you can control, your thoughts, your choices, your actions, and what you can't. And once you do that, you stop wasting all your energy on the external stuff, and you start mastering your inner world.
This key lets you build what they call an inner citadel, like an unshakable fortress of peace right inside your own mind. And you build it by living with virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, which, for the Stoics, was the only true path to a good life.
Okay, on to our third key. This one is for the spirit that feels stuck in those repeating cycles. Feeling bound by unseen debts and patterns from the past that just keep showing up. For this, we have the karmic key of alchemy. On this path, the prison is the karmic loop. It's this web of cause and effect, where literally every thought, every action creates an energetic imprint, a samskara, that shapes your reality and kind of keeps you repeating the same lessons over and over. So the goal here is pretty profound. It's about shifting from just being a repeater of these cycles to becoming a conscious alchemist of your own destiny, someone who can take the lead of the past and transmute it into the gold of the future. This key basically gives you a map to your own karmic landscape. It shows you the huge reservoir of all your past karma, then the slice of it you're dealing with in this life, and this is the most important part, the new karma you're creating right now. That last part is where your free will is incredibly powerful.
Our final key, it's the most paradoxical of them all. It's for the self that's trapped by the very illusion of being a self in the first place. This is the awakening key of dissolution.
What this path reveals is maybe the sneakiest prison of all, the seeker. It's that subtle, persistent belief that there's a separate you that has to go out and find awakening, when actually, the identity of the seeker is the final illusion that's hiding it from you. So this key doesn't really offer you a path to walk on. Instead, it asks a question that's designed to dissolve the path itself. It's like an invitation to just stop. Stop the frantic search and notice what's already here. The work here is all about discernment. It's about learning to tell the difference between the loud, urgent, fearful voice of the ego, which is what keeps building the prison walls, and that quiet, calm, knowing whisper of the soul, which is freedom itself. So there we have it. 4 prisons, 4 keys. And, while these paths might seem really different on the surface, they all lead to the exact same destination, a deeper knowing of who you are. Each key offers a totally unique method for a unique lock, right? You've got Gnostic rebellion for a deceptive world, Stoic resilience for inner chaos, Karmic alchemy for those repeating patterns, and awakening for the illusion of a separate self. Different roads, same destination, a direct, personal, experiential knowing of your true nature. And that really brings us to the most important question of all. Which prison do you recognize in your own life? Which one of these keys feels like it was practically made for your hand? Because ultimately, choosing the path and doing the work of turning the key, well, that belongs only to you. These 4 paths all point toward inner freedom. We really invite you to explore them more with our guides and resources over at The Spiritual Seek. Each one represents a whole world of transformation just waiting for you. And we'll just leave you with one last thing to think about. You've seen the keys, you've seen the locks they're meant to open, but what if the ultimate liberation isn't about finding the right key at all, but realizing the door was never actually locked to begin with?